Okay, so this is the number 11 on the 2023 on AMC 10A, okay? So we have a square area is 2, which is the middle one, and another square area of 3, which is the larger one. Okay, we are creating four congruent triangles. Okay, this is important. As given, the ratio of the shorter leg to the longer leg of the shaded triangle. Okay, so let's call this is X and Y, so that will be X, Y, X, and Y. And this is also X and Y, okay? So let's write what we have. So the area of the square is 2, which means each leg, each side, I would say, is root 2. Okay, so that is something. So if we use the Pythagorean, so from that triangle, so that will be X squared, Y squared is add up the square of this, which is 2. And also, since the larger square has area of 3, X plus Y is equal to square root of 3. That's something. And also we can use the area two different ways to get the area of this region. So, we have 4 copies of this one. One of those is X times Y over 2. If you multiply this by 4, so you get area sum of those triangles plus area of the middle triangle. The square is just 2. And when you add those, you will get area of the larger square, which is given as 3. And you can cancel these. So that will be 2xy is 1. And then xy will be 1 over 2. Okay, so we have 3 equations. And I think it's more than enough to solve x and y, which we can do actually. But to choose which one is easier, I wouldn't choose this guy. I would love to choose these because those are linear. At this power of the x's is 1, not linear, but this is not linear, but this is linear. At least the power of those variables is 1. So let's try maybe this one. If I choose the x alone, so that should be 1 over 2y, and plug into this equation. Let's do that. So 1 over 2y is add up to y, which is root 3. And if you multiply both sides of the equation by this 2y to cancel the denominator, so you will get 1 plus 2y squared is 2y times root 3. And pull out in one side. So minus 2 times root 3 times y plus 1 equals 0. I think we cannot really factor, so let's use the quadratic formula. So that should be minus b, which is the 2 root 3, plus or minus the square of b, which is 12, if you square negative 2 root 3, minus 4 times a is 2, c is 1, over 2a. Okay, so this is 4, which is going to be square root, which is going to give us 2. So the y will be 2 root 3 plus or minus 2 over 4. So we can simplify by 2, which gives us root 3 minus 1. Could be plus also, over 2. Okay, so let's take the positive version of the y and see what we get, or negative version. So either one probably either works or one of them doesn't work. So let's go with the negative version of y. So if I choose y as square root of 3 minus 1 over 2, and maybe I can plug it right here or plug it right here. So I'll do this right there. So x times x was equal to 1 over 2y, right? 2 times y, which is this number, over 2. These will cancel. So the x is 1 over square root of 3 minus 1, or I can just write negative 1 over 1 minus root 3. The reason why I did this, because I'm going to multiply this denominator by its conjugate, so which is basically 1 plus root 3. So I can multiply this as well. So that will give us negative 1 plus root 3. And if you multiply these two, which is a difference of square, we can just manually multiply, which gives me 1 minus 3, which is going to be negative 2. And negatives will cancel, so we will get 1 plus root 3 over 2. So this is like square root of 3 plus 1 over 2. This was actually right here, which means if you choose the positive version of this middle, so your x would be the negative version, so which is why it doesn't really matter which one we chose. So we'll get it both either way. Okay, at the end, we are gonna just do now the ratio. The shorter one is the minus version. So that should be square root of 3 minus 1 over 2 divided by this one. So 2's will cancel. So I'm gonna write 1 plus root 3. And I'm gonna multiply this by its conjugate to simplify, which is 1 minus root 3, 1 minus root 3. Okay, so if you multiply, the denominator can be written as negative version of 1 minus root 3, which is going to be square root of 1 minus root 3, or you can just multiply them. And if you do so, you will get root 3 and minus 3 minus 1 plus root 3 over, I just expand the numerator and the denominator is negative 2. So that should give us like 2 root 3 minus 4 over negative 2. If you divide by negative 2, you will get negative root 3 plus 2, which is 2 minus root 3. The answer is this number. So be careful. Sometimes the sign of something wrong, like at some of this calculation, might change your final answer. So you end up getting one of the other choices. So the choice C looks the answer. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.